specialize in music most people hear. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our website. Let us share the noise with you.
Yo, this is John from Noise Dosage Media, and this episode is brought to you by Begrudgingly Benny. Interested in putting something horrific and grotesque on your next piece of merch? Benny is tucked away in the fiery depths of COVID quarantine, blasting the filthiest of old school death metal and drawing hideous creatures that he is waiting for you to adopt. Go over to Instagram and follow at BegrudginglyBenny and contact him if you would like some really weird original art for your band or label. Super professional, highly recommended. What's up? This is John from Noise Dosage Media, and we got Jeff Becerra from the almighty Possessed here. And, you know, I've had a lot of questions brewing up within the last couple weeks, and here you go. So here's my first question. Other than the music, what do you feel all listeners of metal music have in common?
Ooh, that's hard to say. I mean, I would say that question would be easier to ask in the 70s and the 80s because, you know, your typical metalhead was a pot-smoking, big bell, boombox, Sabbath blasting maniac, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But now it's like metal is turned into this, it is the drug now. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Remember in the 80s, the people said, what is the big difference between the show then and now? The 80s people would just be doing lines off the tables and smoking and drinking and just blowing.
Right.
Now it's not like that at all. I mean, of course you get the people that get wasted, but those are like almost like the minority. Like people are really into the music now. So I think that it has become so viable and accepted and loved and adored. And it just, I think if anything, we have loyalty, you know, like I was sitting there, we played with Ozzy and Judas Priest and Scorpions.
Hell yeah.
And several years back. And Rob Halford was up talking about this might be his farewell tour. Right. And I didn't even recognize tears were streaming down my cheeks, right? I was like, holy shit, I haven't cried in years, right? And yeah, and it's just because it means a lot. It means a lot to us. Loyal and like I'll tell you what, like if like a pop band didn't come out with an album every year, they would just be gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll see like Tool will wait like 13 years or whatever. It's like they're back, you know, or like Slipknot or you know, I'm sure if it or Possessed, it was 33 years between our albums, and we got bigger during the era, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So your answer is like, you know, the
loyalty.
Years. Yeah, loyalty. So what do you think are some things that you've learned along the way about the metal community has, you know, with this evolution?
Well, I mean, the way I operate is I'm not the guy that's concerned with what the other guy's doing. I just
That's a good answer. Yep.
I'm too tripped up on myself. So if I've learned the hard lessons of life that come with, you know, growing up and you know, making mistakes and trying to learn from them and become a better man, you know, and of course, you know, when I had my kids, that was like, it seemed like that really like put a lot of fulfillment in my life. As corny as that sounds, I mean, it's true. It's like, I feel like that's why I was put on the earth, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've learned not to be so selfish because, you know, I think, you know, I'd be lying to say if I was ever just like, it was all about me. Like I'm come from the old school where we grew up looking at people like Sammy Davis Jr. and Elvis. And like, I met Wayne Newton. I was like, those two are entertainers, man. And they can literally relate with anybody from a small jazz club in, you know, Louisiana to the White House, you know?
Yep.
Just, they have this like, they're just so like, what's the word? Suave, man. The way they deal with people and different situations, I've always been really enamored with that. And just, you know, entertaining for the sake of being an entertainer. You know? So
right. Exactly.
That's our job. It's like, that's why we wear spikes and, you know, like the guys are like, why do we have to wear all this stuff? And I'm like, man, you're up there to like put on a show, you know, like.
Right.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to see a dude in all black, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, there's been a lot of death metal bands that made it in cargo pants or khaki shorts or camo pants and boots. But to me, it's like Possessed is always we've always come out and we've toned it. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we toned it down or what. I mean, I just bought some Spurs and new Appleby gauntlets. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but we don't. I guess by okay, it was really over the top back in the day in '83, '45, or whatever, the early '80s. But now, man, people are like literally coming out in armor and masks. And,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
like theatrical. Like
yeah, like where do they? That's so cool. Like
it's like Alice Cooper, but like on acid.
yeah, it's like Nasty Savage 24/7.
Right. Exactly.
Fucking backstories. My name is Vlad the Impaler, and I sleep in a coffin. And, like it's crazy. Like okay, I'm not wearing no mask because like I work too hard. I want people to know who I am, man.
Yeah, you don't want to be like Ghost or whatever.
Yeah, they're like replaceable members, right? I would never even know if they replaced anybody.
Yeah, that brings up a good point for
And
sure.
can you imagine trying to get laid? Like, hey, baby, who are you? I'm nameless.
I can't tell it. You're like, I'm in this big band. I'm in this big band, but I can't tell you who I am.
I'm nameless goal 3. Bullshit. I am. You had to ask my age, you freak. No, but I love Ghost though. I'm not even.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're awesome. They're great.
Yeah, they're really good at what they do, and plus Tobias said he used to try to be like me in an interview, so I'm sold. That's the quickest way to my heart is flattery. No.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here's some flattery for you.
Wait. You know who's really great and doesn't do all that? Is Opus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super, man. They're like the Led Zeppelin of metal, man. Those dudes are awesome.
Right. Exactly. So, when coining this term death metal, was there any other names in the basket?
Oh, yeah. I think we went through a few, but we were pretty stuck on the movie The Exorcist at that time. That movie freaked us. I watch it now. It's still scary to me. But my kids are like, "This is dumb." But did you see The Exorcist? Like, are you old enough to like remember?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to like? I don't want to go in the ocean after watching Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws is terrifying, man.
It was. I didn't want to take a freaking bath after that shit. Yeah, yeah. I grew up with the monster movies, and so I think The Exorcist was the first like really big production like horror, like horror one of them, at least. And it was like, man, that was terrifying. Satan was very real, and Satan used to be super scary. It freaked a lot of people out, man.
Right.
Nowadays, they would like you'd never have Lucifer. The show Lucifer that would have never flied in the early '80s.
Yeah, the black metal scene. Holy shit, man! Like the newspapers, they're like Satan, black metal, Satan. Like,
yeah, they burned the churches down now, and they're still accepted. In fact, they got popular.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I can see why you did it. It's crazy. It's a yeah, I don't know. Like yeah, it's like you talk to the average black metal kid, and they're like, "Well, they built it on an old temple." Okay. So it's funny. It's like I see tattoos of burning churches, and it's like, geez, man, it's like the crucifix of black metal is a burning church.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird because like I've talked to Necro Butcher, like the godfather of fucking black metal. And he's like the nicest dude I've ever one of the nicest dudes I've ever talked to.
You don't get that. You don't get that still waters run deep, though, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah,
you don't get that vibe from him.
Yeah,
he is a nice guy, and we cleaned out my mini bar together in Finland, and he's a really good guy. But yeah, I just get the feeling that sometimes he goes quiet, and there's a lot going on in there.
Well, yeah, that's everybody nowadays with this crazy freaking world. But.
What a history, though. I mean, talk about a book and a half and a movie, and And that's so much greater than just like, like the persona. Like those dudes were, they really took it to the next level. And right or wrong, you gotta give them kudos, man. Like how much more into it can you get?
Exactly. Yeah. How can you outdo that in 2021?
You
You know what I
you
mean?
can't. You really
You can't. You
You,
can't.
yeah. Well, you have the bands that talk about politics, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's neat. That was neat. Then Dead Kennedys did it too, and that's always neat. But the whole church burning, gay stabbing, suicide.
You can't. You
Yeah,
can't
it's
beat it.
like, damn, dude. But remember, Nasty used to light his hair on fire, throw hollowed
Yeah.
out TV sets, and smash them over his what was the dude from? Remember the dude humongous from the Road Warrior with the iron face? He used to
Exactly. Yep.
knees up in the air and smashed his over his fucking face. And you'd be like, damn, these people look like. And they would have like roadies whose sole job was to hang in the rafters and squirt fire hydrants and throw confetti, right? Like it was
Yeah.
like
Yep.
budget Kiss, and like Real Blood. And I was like, wow, man, these dudes are the best. I mean, we played with them in '84, whatever, in Canada, and I was like, this is the best band I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah. I've yet to see Guar, and like I've never been to a show that intensive. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
So
we just got the giant penis squirting mayonnaise.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like you just get a big hair full of mayonnaise, and you're like, I feel so funky. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like I seen this one video, this old video. I talk a lot. And Pete Townsend, you remember, he used to grab the headstock of his Telecaster and swing it around in circles, and
Yep. Yep.
and there was some hippie dude, just poor innocent hippie dude, rolling a joint in the audience, and that Telecaster goes pong and hit him in the head. And knocked his ass out, right? You see the stretcher coming, and they just continue on with their show. Like I would feel a little bad about that.
Yeah, that's definitely a story to tell. So is there any? This is going to be like a common question starting this interview. Is there any specific motto or quote you live by to this day,
Quote.
or just like a motto?
I just I try like I said, I try to mind my own business. Really, I try not to like I try to just like lead by example. Like I'm a pretty independent guy, and my kids are the same way. They
Right. Right.
they don't ask me for anything. If they want something, they go out and get it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not that I don't want to give it to them. I'm always offering them something, but it's almost superficial to get it from somebody else from them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's just. I mean, this is America. And I come from a Native American family. I'm in a wheelchair, Mexican Native American, and
Mhm.
know that there's all kinds of things in life, from discrimination and everything. It's just awful and horrible. But at the end of the day, if you don't pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and go out there and make an effort, nothing's going to happen. So,
Right. Yeah. That's a perfect answer.
mhm.
And yeah, that's sweet. So other than being like a frontman, what are you passionate about artistically? Like I know you do like video games and stuff like that, but
Yeah, that's
you,
that. No,
you,
no. Yeah, I paint a little bit, and I I'm really rusty on piano, and I got a banjo. I had a bluegrass band. I like blues. I have a dobro. Like Travis Pickett and like old country, and I
heck
just
yeah.
I took classical in college. I've always started with classical guitar. I read music. We were stupid in the old days. We actually learned how to read music, and I started with drums, and so I'll like just kind of like if there's an instrument around, I'll try to learn it. And I don't know. I've really been getting into the whole mindset. What is writing and being an executive producer on the album, like the last album? It takes everything and more. You know what I mean? And I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's a concerted effort, and it's such a group mind thing, and you really just got to be on the same wavelength, because it's not as easy. Like everybody can play now. Like back in the day, like it was just enough to be the first, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But these days, man, that doesn't, that and $5 will buy a cup of coffee. So it's like everybody can engineer, everybody can produce. There's every kid. You can't flick a sesame seed bun off a Big Mac without hitting a death metal drummer in the head. I mean, like it's crazy competition, and there's always somebody that will do it for cheaper and better. So it's like, you got to be good at what you do. You got to be efficient, and you got to pump it out, man. And so with all those constraints to make, like, I still want to make that album that is undeniably, and this is probably sounds silly from somebody like me, but an album that will be remembered forever. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
and I literally, like, when I die, I want to get more famous. I don't want people to forget me. I don't know why that's such a big like a scare to me. Like, I think about it, my heart speeds up. I'm like, I don't want to disappear. And
Yeah.
it's not anything. It's just like it's been such an effort to put out even the few albums I have, right? And so I want to be one of those bands that has like 10 albums. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I'm catching up. I have a lot of catching up to do.
Hey, as musicians, we all got a lot of catching up to do. And the topic you brought up, like nowadays, trying to stick out, from the haystack. It's so hard with death metal and anything with extreme metal because everybody has done it. Like
Yeah, you feel like everything on the sun has been done, but then you get a band like Necrot or
fuck yeah,
and you're like, fuck, I guess it has not been done.
yeah.
Or what's that one band that experimented with mushrooms and stuff, and they
That's a lot of them.
with the alien on the cover.
Oh, Sanguisugabog?
Yeah. And
Oh,
you're
you
like,
liked them?
yeah, you're like, wow, like I guess there is something new under the sun, And
Fuck yeah.
I run into a lot of bands like that, and I go, oh, like, so what I think what it is that there's people that still have the ability to, because we're all different, uniquely individual people, whether you want to believe that or not. You're completely me, and I like me in a lot of ways, but you're completely unique in your own puzzle piece unto yourself.
Right.
So if you find what makes you unique and put it into your music, then it's going to be very unique. And I think that's the whole trick.
Yeah. And I feel like nowadays another creative outlet is like music videos. Like you said, the Shrooms thing. Being a visual band is another thing that I feel like people are kind of jumping aboard and being like, we need to do something different in this aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I did my drug experimentation, and that does work to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, to consistently pump out good music, you can't just be on dope all the time.
yeah, just pump it out and freaking get it done.
Yeah, like hold on, I gotta. There are some really like weird. I've been very method in the past, and with drugs and or worshiping the devil or whatever. Not to say that I'm a saint worshiper, but whenever you're deep and you're trying to make something real out of thin air, then you gotta really put some weird. You turn into a weird dude sometimes, right? Like I know that like sometimes when I'm writing, and if a person comes in that I'm not expecting to come in, it's like it scares you. Like holy shit, a person.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're so in your own head, like it's like
Yeah.
I can't be like this.
Yeah. Gall tells me he freaking locks the door and he just sits in a room all by himself and he'll just sit and think, and
Yeah.
like I do the same thing when I'm writing music. It's very hard to be collaborative because like, I don't know. I tend to write music and then I hear it in a certain way. And like, sometimes I can't hear it, after being mashed together with other people's ideas and
that's
stuff.
that's the thing is we don't like Possessed doesn't sit in a room and jam together. I mean, a lot of it's like 50-50. Some two of us want to sit in a room and collaborate like the always, but to me it's easier to, and I get more variety if like Dan writes some riffs, I write some riffs, Dan writes some riffs, and we put them together where they fit. If you write enough riffs, you can separate them into different sections and fit them together like a puzzle, right? And
Yeah.
and it seems to add more flavor to it. Like
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, like, but it's weird. Like I lose my train of thought if I'm in a room, like I'm,
Writing a full song.
yeah, like if you're sitting there going, what do I
What
do?
comes next?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's like I'd like to say that the clouds part and being of light, a light comes down. You're like, oh, the angels sing, but it's like it's just straight work, man. It's like fuck. It's like a. Did you ever take algebra in college or high school or anything?
Yep.
Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh,
Common Core.
the
It's horrible.
aha, you know the aha
Yeah.
syndrome,
Yeah.
aha uh, phenomenon where you're like, I do not get it. I don't get it. I don't. Oh.
I got it.
Yeah, and I love that feeling. Like, but then it's funny too because sometimes like I'll write something I think is really great. Yeah, I'd be like, it sounds too bluesy. I'm like, duh, just crush me. So you have to like not fall in love with everything you do.
Right. Exactly. All
And I
right.
do
So
I do the same thing to him too, and I know it. I feel bad too, like because you can't just be like that sucks,
just put it in.
Yeah,
Hope the label likes it, you know.
rip the band-aid off but in a nice way.
All right. So, when writing lyrics for a new song, what is like your top priority?
Oh God, I'm so like, well, okay, like if you, I'm looking at my notebook of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can see like at least 12 spiral notebooks just scattered around my room because it's
Uh-huh.
the idea I need to grab a notebook and write it down real quick, and
You forget it.
or if I'm reading a book and like I go, oh, that's a really good. Like I won't straight plagiarize, but I'm like, one thing will spur on another thought. Like, wow, that's really cool, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and then also like a lot of well, a certain percentage of my songs are like have what I call these beautiful nightmares. I love like epic nightmares that would probably scare the shit out of a normal person. I love and I wake up and I write it down real quick. And I've
Yep.
written higher lyrics, just waking up at 2 in the morning, clicking on the light and writing them down.
Yeah. That's a good. I've had some fucked up dreams, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Not like drawing a picture of it for an album cover or something.
Are you microdosing? No, I'm joking.
No, I just got bad dreams.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that. I think that you do need to be a certain sense of fucked up. To be an artist. Why does you have? It's like you don't feel loved unless hundreds or thousands of people like you love you. Like there's a certain fucked upness about it. It's not like I say we're entertainers, but like you always fear the day that like the tide will turn and you'll get canceled for some fucking shit.
Oh God, dude, that's a whole topic. Cancel culture, man.
You never know, man. And people like me are probably easy pickings, because I have such a drugged up, shitty ass past. And but I can honestly when this cancel culture came through, I like literally scanned my past. I was like, there's nothing that I'm Jewish. There's nothing
I,
I'm ashamed of,
I think we're
other than being an
past that at
idiot.
this.
Yeah.
I think we're past. I hope. I mean, the metal scene, like you said, is very easy to get tagged, but I mean, it's been out there for so long. Like, if people go 7 churches, man, this album is morbid, man. Like,
It's the
they'll just
devil.
look dumb. Yeah, they'll look dumb.
He used the Lord's name in vain. 3,400,000. No, I'm just kidding. But
Exactly.
I see you never know. Like I see guys that I'm friends with, and they're getting tours canceled, and I'm like, man, this isn't right. Like these guys are cool guys, right? And I don't know. I think that like I don't want to get political, but I think that the motives are in the wrong place on some people. Like if it was going to make the world better to cancel somebody, that's great. But if you're just doing it just to be mean, which I think is happening a lot,
Yeah. Yep.
what greater purpose that is going to serve you?
Or generate revenue on their page or whatever. That's
Yeah.
another thing.
Oh
The
yeah,
clicks or whatever.
yeah.
But
We
the
live in
clicks,
a
man.
self-obsessed society. Like I love my Instagram page, though. but I like it because I can reach a lot of people, and I like answer all my DMs, and I'm a people
Right.
person, and and it helps sell merch stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's a business side at the end of the day. But I mean, music is a weird industry because our business is actually having fun and talking to people. So it's like
Right. It's like a community.
yeah, it's
I
never
feel
felt
like
like we're.
you gotta build the community. I feel like in this day and age, if you don't have a community, it's freaking shot.
Yeah, and it can't be MySpace.
Yeah, yeah. I was just watching a video the other day, and it was just this dude. He's like, "Yeah, man, I got with all my members through MySpace. It was Gorguts," and
Oh, really?
I was like, "Wow, man, the tides have changed since then, man."
Yeah,
Yeah,
the MySpace is like so slow now. Have you noticed that? It's like
yeah. Well,
dumbed down.
even saying that word, I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, I got my. How old are you? I got my. You're old when you got your followers through LimeWire.
Yeah, I'm only like 22, so like I still got some years ahead, but
I got dad jokes. No, I'm like, you're getting old when people compliment your alligator shoes and your barefoot. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, exactly. Crocs.
Yeah,
Crocs.
you get old when you order a 3-minute egg and the waitress makes you pay in advance.
All right. So I'm gonna wrap it up with on a positive note here. This question I've gotten a lot of different answers, and I'm curious on yours. So how would you define success? Just that word, success.
Oh man. Well, I'm the kind of guy that is always like, I work my ass off to get somewhere, and when I get there, I'm like, is that it? You know what I mean? But
Right.
I think success is not a person who is not waiting for the clock to hit 5 or 5:30 every day, but to just
Yep.
really be in the moment, living your life. Even if you're sweeping a floor, just do it the best you can and get into it, and really
Yep.
live every minute, right? And of course, the fact that like I don't want to sound stuck up, but my kids are good. They're not on drugs. They're not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're not on the hard drugs, at least. But
Mhm.
they're not. They're not on drugs. They're not. They're not drinking. They're doing good. They're going to college, and my son is working on his martial arts and thinking about going to Thailand, and I feel like I succeeded in being a dad, and which is
There
so
we go.
since I was such a bad teenager, right? I mean, I
Yep.
left home when I was 16, and geez, I was horrible, right? Like I was like, I'm glad my kids weren't like me. I mean, if life was,
Right.
it would have been, but I don't know. I think success is just basically, doing the best you can, taking pride in your work, and making the world. That sounds so dumb. A little bit better when you left it, whether
Yeah.
that through the power of satanic death metal or whatever.
Fuck yeah. That's probably the best answer I've gotten for that question. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I try to stay positive because you have to, man. I mean, especially these days, man. You can't break bad, right? You'll go down a rabbit hole.
right. Yeah. And that's why I've been trying to, when I do these interviews or conversations, I try to throw like some weird questions because, I know musicians are sick of the same questions. So I hope I
Yeah,
did
you're
that for
good.
you.
Yeah, you're a pro, man. You're a pro. You're great. Like, yeah, you do this. You're a journalist. Remember, I come from the time when news was real. Remember when people used to make retractions in the news and lose
Yeah.
their because they misquoted somebody?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
now
exactly.
they're all saying the news is only for entertainment purposes only. So,
Holy shit.
yeah.
I don't remember the last time I watched the news other than the Washington break-in.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What are you talking about? Nixon? No, you're too young.
No, I'm talking about recently when the people broke
Oh,
in
yeah.
with the protests because I was so blown away with that. I was like, I gotta watch this. I
They
gotta
kind
see
of
what's
just
going on.
walked in, though. Like, there was like one cop with a billy club going, stop, stop.
Yeah.
And I was watching, like, okay, first of all, I think both Fox and NBC are completely full of shit. But they were like, if they would have gotten in, they would have killed everybody. Like, how do you know they were going to kill everybody? Like, they looked like they were just kind of like wanting to run around with podiums and stuff, you know?
Yeah, just freaking make a statement, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know if they had murderous intent, but like, like in the news was like Mitt Romney was right there and he would have died.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, but so you can't walk into if you don't watch the news, you can't just walk into a blaring news like you can't catch them off guard. Like they like warm you up from the morning, and by the end they have you in a fever pitch. You know.
Yeah. The oh shit. There's a lot
Yeah,
going on in the world. And it's weird. I mean, do you watch the news personally?
I watch it. I watch CNN, I watch Fox, and I watch MSNBC, and I
Okay.
tell they're all like this. CNN tries to straddle the line, but it's like some pseudo liberalism with profit gain driven big billionaire capitalism in the background. And
Yeah.
MSNBC, I looked up the private because I want to know how true to watch the news. I watch it. I looked up a bunch of the private, non-partial, and they said that the MSNBC is on average 70% lies, and
Uh-huh.
Fox is slightly more, right? Maybe
Yeah.
11%. And so, and then you have your native advertising. And if you know how to look for that stuff, like you realize what, like they'll be doing a big piece on women in prison. You'll realize it's just a big native, they call it native advertising, hidden advertising for like orange is the new black or something like that, you know?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
wow, like they literally build news stories around commercials now. It's
Right.
crazy. Yeah,
Right.
I watch it. I just find it outlandish, and it would be comical if people didn't think it was true.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I
Well, okay, well, I'll make another example. They have you completely believing like Mexico is nothing but drug dealers, and they're like, well, you got to build a wall because all the criminals are coming over. I'm like, wait, tradition? Have you ever seen a western? Like, whenever you fuck up here, you go to Mexico. They,
uh-huh.
they don't talk about they don't talk about the other way. Like we're going that way too, right? Like, and there's
Yeah,
probably
I don't see a wall making a big difference. No
no,
way.
you just hop over, or like the whole black on black crime. Like if you're in Italy, do you have Italian on Italian crime, or if you're in France, you have French on French crime? And I know there's white on white crime, right? So
Mhm.
why don't you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think the intention. I don't think it's untrue. I just think the intention is bad. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
bad sells, and I think that people really need to be aware of that. Like you can't believe these outlets anymore because they're owned outright by apps and Facebook, and the people that tell you to shut up and listen are the people that write the news. Like
Well, it's one of those things too, and they build the algorithm. It's like
they
it's
do.
they like Facebook now. It's ridiculous, man. The shit that I really want people to see, it's like pay me, dude, pay me. I'm like, I know people will love this. It's just it's not reaching people, certain people. You
Oh, I
know?
know. Try like I was like because I know that the FDA in the '90s they did the same thing with opiates they did now. The bubble popped on opiates, so the FDA rewrote it and said, "Oh, they're horribly addictive," right?
Uh huh.
Before that, you know, they had wrote said, with people with no prior addiction, it's 0.05% of addiction, right? And
Yep.
and and so they rewrote that FDA, and then they sold the shit out of them until everybody got their pound of flesh until the bubble popped, like the housing market in pills. And remember,
Uh
Big
huh.
made 1% less than oil last year, so it's like a lot of money. And
Right.
when they rewrote that with Trump, then I was thinking like I wonder how messed up the news is. And I test the algorithms a lot, and I was like, I wonder if I could find anything good, even a one positive thing about And so I went on a search, say like people dying of cancer need opiates, and all I got was, are you addicted? Here's a
Right.
rehab. Yeah,
Right. And then the best part about it is they'll send advertisements like when you're just scrolling mindlessly.
yeah. You cut your leg off. You don't need opiates. Here's a rehab center close to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. All
Oh, you
right.
need
So yeah,
I'm sorry.
but let's wrap it up with I'll open the table for anything you want to promote or wrap up with anything you want to say.
I have a Oh, hold on. Let me look at I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I have a Gimme Metal special coming up on February 15th.
Okay.
At February 15th at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 3 Eastern
Yep.
Standard Time. And I have I got a mental health podcast I'm doing tomorrow, but I don't think I think just keep an eye out for that. It won't air tomorrow. Okay?
Right
Um,
on.
and this guy's really funny. He's a stand-up comedian that's a schizophrenic ex-drug addict.
Wow.
Oh God, the dude's dark. Like you don't know what you're like he'll still a joke and everybody will go quiet. You have to show that you go, damn. No.
Yeah. Wow.
It's really funny. Yeah,
What is that? What is that podcast called?
this guy's a Robbie Stevenson, the mental health show. It's a podcast.
Robbie Stevenson. Okay.
Yeah, it's not gaining so much traction, but I think we're gonna see good guys that are good traction. If people like to listen to him, and yeah, like of course people they will people grow with fame. But this guy is he's a raw talent that's really funny, man. Like if you like that kind of twisted,
That's awesome. Yeah, comedy is the best. But
it is. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. Otherwise,
sweet. Yeah, Gimme Metal has freaking been popping. It's awesome.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
on, it's on Twitch. I remember watching him on Twitch.
oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
I just got the app.
Well, no, I mean like it streams, so he streams it all over, but you can watch it on Twitch too.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that definitely tonight. Maybe I'll stream tonight. I'm the worst streamer, Jeff Becerra 123 on Twitch, and I no camera. I'm the noob. Like no matter how I play, I still get like 32 kills and 17 deaths. Like I still get I'm consistently bad all the time.
It's all right, man. I remember watching the one day. I'm like, "Where's Jeff, man?" But I think there's a way where you can set up like a microphone like easy. I have no idea.
I set up a microphone, just not a camera, because like I'll just be
okay.
My silky.
I think I came in late at night.
Yeah, I remember one time I got all fucked up and I left my mic on. I thought I turned it off. Like bumbling around my room, cussing like oh man, and it was like 16 hours. God damn it!
You're like shit, man. What did I just do?
I know, and somebody like, "Are you okay?" Like, because like when you think you're alone, like you unabashedly feel sorry for yourself or about shit, or I'm one of those like guys that talks to himself, so it's really weird.
Yeah, knowing me, I'd be like talking to myself when I go to bed or something.
Yeah, it's weird to talk to yourself. It's when you start answering yourself that you're in trouble.